when it comes to the range of Range Rovers, the best all-rounder surely has to be the Range Rover Sport. The full-size Range Rover is very luxurious, very comfortable, incredibly capable, but it is quite a soft ride. It's a huge car. The Evoque and the Velar, they're smaller cars, but the Range Rover Sport is a really good size. It's got plenty of space on the inside. It's got all the prestige of a Range Rover, and the top of the range of the Range Rover Sport is the SVR. The car behind me is a P575. P is a petrol, 575 relates to the horsepower, and it's an SVR, which means it's got a sport setup. It's got an exhaust that sounds like thunder. Huge level of equipment is standard. And the car behind me is a 2021 71 registered car. I'd like to show you around. So it's a 2171, as I said. P575, 575 horsepower is a hell of a lot of horsepower for any car. For the Range Rover Sport, what it does is it gives you a decent sized, very, very comfortable, very capable off-road car, which also has the performance of some of the more high-end sports cars. So 575 brake horsepower really does get this thing moving very quickly, and it's alarmingly quick when you put your foot down. You really don't expect it for such a large car. The 5-litre V8 is an absolute behemoth. It's supercharged, and when you put your foot down, it sounds like a NASCAR. It's absolutely amazing. And you can see from the stance here, it sits quite low, it's quite wide. This particular car is an Eiger Grey, which is a very nice metallic grey. I'm going to come in and show you. It's one of my favourite colours of the Range Rover range. You can see there's a lot of metallic fleck in there. If I just run the camera down the side, you can see, although my camera does seem to struggle with, there we go, does seem to struggle a little bit with metallic colours and reflection. You can see it's a really nice, bright colour. Nice uninterrupted panels, good reflection, which means nice straight panels as well, and a really glossy finish. I love the contrasting black. It's almost sort of a mercurial colour. Absolutely fabulous. It does respond very well to light. It's not sunny outside, which is why I've done it inside. It's pretty cold out there today, and we're expecting a bit of rain later. But that is a lovely, lovely colour. If I just show you all the way around the panels, you can see the quality and the condition of the paintwork all over. You've got the trademark 4 tailpipe sticking out of the back. There's a button in the centre, which is part of the head unit, which gives you a sports exhaust. You have a dynamic ride, so you can adjust the character of the drive of the car as you drive to make it more comfortable, more sporty, louder, depending on what your mood is of the day. If I just scanning down there to show you the reflection, to show you the nice straightness of these panels, that lovely gloss of the paintwork. This is a carbon fibre bonnet, so it's a painted carbon fibre bonnet, but that does save weight, and it's quite high up, so weight saving high up in the car helps to improve handling and road holding. I'm just going to walk all the way around this because this is a lovely condition car. But as I say, the Eiger Grey with the black styling package, so you've got gloss black around the grills. You've got a gloss black lower splitter that you can see, gloss black lettering. All the headlamp surrounds are all in black, and the grills. You've got these lovely 22-inch black SVR wheels with gloss black calipers tucked in underneath, black side vents, black all the way around the window surrounds, Narvik black roof, and you can see the roof is open. It has a sliding panoramic roof. Door mirrors. So the contrast between the black and the Eiger Grey goes very, very well. Of course, if I just tap into there, it says special vehicle operations. Now, I've visited special vehicle operations, and that's where they take a supercharged Range Rover Sport and they turn it into one of these. So there's a lot of hand building that goes into one of these cars, and I've been on the production line myself. It's very interesting to watch. There's a lot of work that goes into this. So I'll start from the back. We have an electric open and shut tailgate, a luggage cover which pulls and releases, charging point. You can raise and lower the suspension because this has air suspension, this standard, so you can raise and lower the suspension. So if you want to load something heavy into the back, you can drop the suspension, allow yourself to load things in, and then bring it back up to height again. And if you are going off-road, or if you're going through a Ford, then it will raise the body higher in order to give you more clearance for water or any other objects. The boot has this lovely deep pile carpet. I mean, you can see my hand's been across it already, with the standard mat underneath. That, as well as being nice and keeping your luggage or whatever in nice condition, that also adds to the sound deadening, which is very good in this car. You don't get lots of exterior noises within the car. Press the button, electronically operated, and closes for you there. And moving towards the back and the inside, I can tell you that we have more of these lovely deep pile carpets, all looking very nice. You've got the dials here, and below you can see 2 USB charging points, and then to the left of that you've got a cigarette lighter style charging point as well, so your children or rear passengers can charge their devices. The air conditioning here is dual zone, so you've got dual zone for the rear, so 4 zone, so you can adjust for the passenger side and for the driver's side. And if you push the button, much like with the front, it gives you heated seats. So these 2 outer seats are also heated. You can see the SVR emblems on the headrests, and this lovely patterned, diamond patterned, perforated seat base, and the seats are in ebony leather, and they're in very nice, strong condition. They're very comfortable, and you've got a nice Alcantara insert that goes all the way around, and 3 proper seat belts, so that belt will open up and that plugs straight into here, or you can have the armrest down, which gives you a cup holder and somewhere to keep your bits and pieces. So very comfortable, plenty of leg room. You can see the backs of these seats. They're not standard seats that you get in any other Range Rover. These are sporty seats, so they're a lot more supportive. They're a bit more sporty in terms of the contour, and they're lighter, because of course this is, as well as being a 4-wheel drive, is actually a performance car as well. The Meridian sound system, and then you've got the gloss black interior veneers and the illuminated sills as well. Moving to the driver's side, a lot more of this nice ebony leather, nice neat double rows of stitching, the memory functions for the seats, and this is for your mirrors, and they are electric folding as well as adjustment, and 4 electric windows, as you can see there. Another Meridian speaker, and more illuminated tread plates, and more deep pile carpets with the mess that I've made on them. But if you look at these seats, they're very supportive. There's lots of lateral support there, and that helps to keep you upright if you are driving the car spiritedly, which of course it's very capable of. And then you can see here, this moves the seat backwards and forwards, up and down at the front, up and down at the rear, whole seat, and then you can also adjust the length of the squab backwards and forwards if you want to. And then we have the lumbar support. The steering column is also electric and is memoried along with the seat. So there's always a very good chance you're going to find yourself the ideal seating position. Now if I just press the start button with my foot on the brake, the car's now leapt into life. Let's leave it running for a minute and just show you around. So we've got a pistol grip. At the moment we're in park, but you've got a push button there for park and a pistol grip here, so I can pull it back, and you can see that's now gone into D, and it also tells me that it's gone into D just there. And if I move that forward, neutral, and then reverse, which then gives me a very clear camera, which is going to help me to get this car into parking space, and then to go back into P there. Now I can feel, and you can probably hear the parking brake come on, but you can select the parking brake, override there if you want to, and I can hear that coming on and off there, but the parking brake is automatic. Looking at the top here, we have this really nice Alcantara. Alcantara is lighter than a lot of other materials, so again, keeping all the materials at the higher end of the car as light as possible helps handling, and it's also really good for sound deadening, and it feels nice. Your button here to open and close the sunroof, and then there's a blind here as well, which if it's a really hot day, the electric blind will come and completely cover that area, giving you a completely black roof. There's an armrest. If I pull that lever just here, that moves up, and then I have a cool box, and if I press that button there, it turns into a refrigerated cool box. So if you've got Mars bars, cans of Coke or whatever, and you want to keep them nice and cold on a hot day, that is going to work really well. And you've got two different settings, and you can also see there you've got USB ports in there, micro SIM, another charging port. So there's lots going on here, and the cup holders that you can use or close off. And much like I was saying, at the back here, your temperature control dial, you can adjust it like so, and if you press the button, you then have heated seats. And I can adjust the heated seats like so. You can see that goes up and down. I'll turn that off. And then here, I am actually going to do this. If you can hear, the exhaust note has now gone into more of a deep rumble. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to do it today because it sounds epic. I'm now going to that is enough to give you goosebumps when you're driving, and you can see here you've got part of your dynamic mode. You can short select that, but you need to select dynamic mode first. The head unit is touchscreen. You can see it has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so that makes it nice and easy to use and very familiar. And then you can have dynamic mode, which you can have a stopwatch and a G meter, and acceleration and brake. I'm not going to do I'll do the throttle. So you see the throttle, and then the brake tells you the amount of braking that you're doing or the amount of brake pressure you're applying. So that's pretty cool as well. Settings. Come out of settings, go back into home. And that is a very nice, easy to use system. Whether you're using it as a Land Rover system or whether you're using it as Apple CarPlay, it's nice and simple to use. Moving to the central display here, above the binnacle, 37,244 miles showing. And at the moment on the central display, if I press this memory button here, I can then change the display to show driver assistance, trip summary or media. There we go, I can select that. So this is a customizable display. So that's now, we've got a metal roof here, so there's no reception. But I can also change the layout. So we're showing 2 dials at the moment. If I click the layout, I can change that to 1 dial. So we have 1 dial, and then we've got the information display on this side, then navigation on that side. If I press it again, I can go into full map, which then turns the whole thing into full map. Again, we've got a steel roof above, so it's not going to show much, but you can see that then gives us a full width navigation screen, which is very good. I'll put it back into the conventional 2 dial for the minute. Nice and easy to read. Complete digital dash. All your lights are on this side. I'm just showing you through there. You can see they're automatic. There's a trip clock button on the end, and on this side you have your wash wipe, and just in front of that you can see this paddle with a plus on it, if you can see that. There we go, get my camera to focus on it, and a minus on that side. These are the paddles, so you can change down through the gears and up through the gears, so down on the left and up on the right, much like you would do with a sports or a racing car. A nice sporty steering wheel, smooth leather at the top, perforated leather at the sides, and this area for you to fit your thumbs into. That's for comfort, and it's also to give you a decent amount of grip for when you're driving the car quickly. As I say here, this menu button drives the front screen. You've got a plus and a minus here for volume, and you can flick backwards and forwards between the radio channels or whatever it is you're listening to on this side. You can go for favorites, because you can set up favorites and individual. I'm not going to go into that now because this is not that video. What this video is all about. Voice control, and you can pick up the phone on this side. On this side we've got cruise control, so you can see you've got set and resume, and then we've got an arrow here with 3 dots between it, and an arrow here with 1 dot. That tells me that this is radar assisted cruise control. So when you're setting cruise control, say you're doing 70 miles an hour, you set 70 miles an hour, you take your feet off, and the car is now doing 70 miles an hour. As you go up and down hills, it'll accelerate and decelerate to hold that space for you, hold that speed. What this does is, if a car pulls out in front of you going 65 miles an hour, for example, rather than just carrying on until you hit the brakes, it will recognise that there's a car going more slowly. It'll slow down and keep distance between you and the car in front, and then when the car moves out of the way, it'll accelerate back up to where it was before. The reason you've got this button here and this button here is you can increase the gap between yourself and the car in front, or you can decrease the gap depending on what you're more comfortable with. So really good driver assistance. Another really good driver assistance is lane assist. So if you are on a long journey and you start to wander from lane to lane, that's going to give you a warning through the steering wheel. And the cancel button turns off the cruise control, and you can also press limiter, which means that these buttons then turn into a speed limiter rather than cruise control. And one of my favourite buttons is the heated steering wheel. It's just the best thing ever. When it's freezing cold outside, of course your steering wheel is generally fairly cold when you get into it. Again, all in nice black, lovely SVR logo. A very, very nice place to be. And if I just press my foot on the brake and press the stop button, stop, the engine turns off. A lovely, lovely environment. Very comfortable for you, very comfortable for your children or colleagues or friends. A car that does everything. Fits everybody in. It'll go off-road if you want to. Handles amazingly in the snow. Go across a field if you need it to. And you can cross continents quickly, or just simply have lots of fun and lots of laughs and listen to the sound of that supercharged V8. So I hope you like the video. I hope you like the car. I hope you find the video useful. If you'd like to know more about the car, please visit our website, www.bramshawebv.com. Pop us an email, drop us a text or a WhatsApp, and we'd love to talk to you about it. Pick up the phone. If you have a car you'd like to sell, whether it's a sports car, whether it's a Range Rover, Porsche, Ferrari, Aston Martin, that sort of thing, and you'd like to sell it, or you'd like to exchange it, or you'd like us to help you sell it, please contact us, and I'm sure we can help you, whether we offer you a price to buy it or whether we help you to sell it. We'd be very interested to help you. Thank you very much for watching.